Welcome in to the PHNX Suns postgame show brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcast and leave us a 5-star review. We're hanging out in the VIP lounge because the Phoenix Suns defeat the Dallas Mavericks 121 to 114 and go up 1-0 in this second round series. I'm Lindsey Smith here with Saul Bookman and Espo. Gentlemen, how you feeling?
Fan-freaking-tastic. Suck it, Luka.
So you had more to go than that.
Nope.
That's it.
You're not getting the usual until a series is over.
Okay, all right. Well, I know the casuals out there are going to be all about Luka, and we'll get into that in a second.
You mean the national media?
But the Suns, once again, proving that they're the most dominant team in the league. I don't care.
This game was really fun. I mean, from the jump, it was a blast. But before we start, at the beginning of the game, we have to start by going to the bar.
Let's go to the bar, where Luka's Rip and Sip is what we're drinking tonight in honor of one Javale McGee getting a steal on Luka, going, 3/4 of court and dunking it home. It was a beautiful thing.
That was so much fun. Honestly, I feel like this room, I don't know that it's been louder in a while than when that happened, because it was like, really? You're going to let JaVale McGee, Luka, you're this superstar. You're going to let JaVale McGee do that to you?
Yeah.
Yes. He didn't
Down
have a choice.
what? 15
He didn't have a
points?
choice. He didn't have a choice because he's the most overrated player in NBA history.
You got the sarcasm though, right? Okay, just making sure.
I got that.
Just
I
making
didn't.
sure.
I know we used a drink for this, but I felt high watching that. That's how elated I felt. Not drunk. I felt high in that.
I saw so many people on the internet be like, I don't make the rules, but Luka, great career. You got to retire now. Sorry to say it. Again, I don't make the rules. I thought that was fantastic. And good for JaVale. Honestly, good for JaVale. And there was a point in time, too, where it almost looked like he was going to pass it. Was it Mikal or Cam?
I think
that
it
was with
Cam was with him. But it almost looked like he was using it as a fake when he watched
that's
it.
true.
It was just pretty.
That is very true. So shout out to JaVale McGee. Here are your flowers. All right, gentlemen, let's start at the beginning. This game opened up in a great way. The Suns had all the energy. They came out hot. In the first quarter, all 5 starters scored within the first 4 minutes. And then to finish the game, all starters plus Cam Johnson finished with double digits. What do you guys think about the way this one started tonight?
I mean, listen, we talked about how this was going to be a more free-flowing basketball game for the Suns, not as physical a matchup as the New Orleans series was, and that is exactly how it played off with, can I say, 69 points in the first half, which is
nice.
There you go. And listen, they dominated this game, and like a guy on Twitter said, if they didn't play like they were at LA Fitness the last 8 minutes, then they probably would have won by 30. Like, listen, they took their foot off the pedal, the gas. They took their foot off the gas is what I'm trying to say. And they let the Mavericks get back into it, but it was irrelevant. It was absolutely irrelevant. They dominated on both ends of the court tonight.
They look like a team that was reborn in that first quarter. Like all of a sudden they had the freedom to do what they wanted to again. They weren't constricted by Willie Green knowing what's going on inside the room. They weren't constricted by a very physical team. They saw a court full of pigeons to start this game. A court full of pigeons. And they took care of business, and they just picked the Dallas Mavericks apart on the glass, offensively, defensively. They played every part of the game beautifully, and that was the Suns team we longed to see in that first round series, and we never saw it. We got it within the first 12 minutes of this series, and I don't think they're going away at any point.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there are a couple of people in the chat who are like, it's just great to see the Suns scoring back to par and seeing all of our starters offensively contributing throughout the game. So the Suns finished with a 50.5 field goal percentage. They shot just shy of 40% from the field, 100% from the stripe. So that's pretty great. Offensively, I mean, like you said, this is what we needed.
It is what we needed, but I do have one little gripe, if I may. Devin Booker, you let me down.
Oh, please.
You let me down. I put money on you and DA to both have 25-plus points tonight. My guy let me down by 2 points. 2 points. Damn it, Devin. Get your head back in the game.
Last time I take your advice on
I mean, did we think that Devin was going to be the one that falls short of
No.
25?
You know who you could blame, though? You could blame the Mavericks
No.
for not
For
making
sucking.
this competitive enough for Devin to play long enough, for Monty to take him out of the game
Yeah.
because they had a 20 or 19-point lead. Let Devin get cold and then throw him back in there because they decided to play like they were playing pickup basketball.
I want to say that, but I mean, my guy was missing layups at the end of the game. Like, bro, like how easy can you possibly have it for yourself?
Absolutely not. There will be no slander because your gambles missed.
Devin Booker, you
players.
got to be better than
I
that.
will not have it.
7
He
of
was
20.
missing
Come on.
buddies.
That's
Damn
the
it.
risk you take when
No.
you gamble.
No.
It's not
No.
Devin's fault.
No.
It's your own.
You have to play.
Devin is automatic for 25. Look, what surprised me, we heard a lot about the Dallas Mavericks being a real great defensive team coming into this, right?
Wrong.
Well, like, and the advanced metrics showed it. For points per 100 possessions, they give about 109, a little over 109. They have 121 points to this Suns team tonight in I don't know exactly how many possessions, but right around that mark. So the Suns offense is just that good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they shot worse from three than the Mavericks did tonight. They shot 38%. The Mavericks shot 41%. I mean, hell, at one point, Maxi Kleber was 5 for 5 from 3-point range. Luka was having his filling his stat sheet in that first half, and they were down almost 20 at that point. Like, the Suns' offense was there tonight, and their defense showed up. This was a complete performance. I don't count the last 6 minutes, just simply because they had pulled the starters. They took their foot off the gas. The Mavs never really got back in it. They got it to 6, but it wasn't, oh no. It was like, oh great, we gotta do this again. All right, we're done playing with our food. So,
and the great thing about this win was it never really felt like anybody was like having a surreal night. It was just everybody was hitting open shots. They were getting wide open shots. And to be fair, the Mavs were also getting some open shots, and some of them they were hitting, some of them they weren't. But it seemed like, Reggie Miller was just oohing and ahhing, talking about, the Mavericks are right there. They've been hitting threes all night, as if it was just going to continue. And goofy-ass Reggie was just completely wrong, because then the Mavericks missed like the next 15,000 threes in a row, and the Suns went up by 20, and that was all she wrote. Like, Reggie Miller, let me just say this real quick. For somebody who played in the league and understands how good players are, you are horribly, tragically wrong on the opposing team when they play the Suns. You're not even close. You're going to talk about Luka, and you talk about the great Dallas Mavericks. They suck. They absolutely suck. It's not even funny. They suck. And you suck because you like how much they suck. How about that?
Magic Luka, baby.
There's a lot of sucking.
I think the most
Suns
egregious,
won. Come on, bring up the
most
energy.
egregious thing that Reggie said tonight was towards the end of this game, where he was like, "See, that's the film that I'm going to show the Mavs before next game," and I'm like, "You mean late in the game when the Suns barely put in any effort and were missing open shots, and that's why you were able to kind of get back in this one? Because a lot of the shots that the Suns missed late were pretty good shots. You know what I mean?
How will that film session go? Okay, guys, the big plan here is we gotta let the Suns get up big, so they let down their guard, and then we can make shots. Let's do that, boys. All right, let's go. Like, how does that go? Like, there's no value in that final 6 minutes. The Suns had slacked off defensively. Sure, if the Suns don't play defense, you can score. All right, congratulations.
Yep,
guys.
congratulations.
Yeah, but that's enough about him. Let's talk more about the Suns.
How about DA?
You want to talk about DA? Let's
I
talk
would
about
love to talk about DA. Listen, I said before the game, there was nobody on the Dallas Mavericks that could hold a candle to DA, and I was 1,000,000% right. If the Suns actually tried to feed him the ball a little bit more, he would have had over 30. He just didn't really get many opportunities, as per usual, in the fourth quarter, because for whatever reason, Chris Paul would rather not throw the ball down to him when he's guarded by Jalen Brunson, and he'd rather take an off-balance fucking mid-range shot off the glass with nothing but rim. So, again, these are the small things that you need to tweak. And I do wonder if that was a little piece of, they were cutting away to have, or to like a timeout or something like that. We saw Jay Crowder just kind of walk by Chris Paul when Chris Paul was trying to talk to him. And I wonder if some of that was going on, because it looked like, Chris Paul was kind of taking some crazy shots, and he made one of them off the glass, but other dudes were wide open. And I wonder if that was like a little bit of something like, bro, like, I'm wide open too, you know what I'm saying? And DA was open several times in that fourth quarter, and listen, I love DA. I thought he played fantastic on the offensive side of the ball. He played really solid defense tonight. And he'll get his opportunities in the fourth quarter as the games get a little bit closer.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way that DA came out in this one. And I know a lot of people will be like, but he only had 8 rebounds. But here's the thing.
Casuals.
The rebound, I mean, even regardless if DA only had 8 rebounds, the Suns still out-rebounded the Mavs 51-36 tonight.
Bro, they shot like 60% tonight. You're not going to rebound much if you're making everything.
Well, I mean, not only that, but it's just like, yeah, you can kind of nitpick, I guess, if you want. It is the playoffs. You can nitpick if you want. But DA stepped up so big throughout these playoffs so far in games that if he hadn't, the Suns wouldn't even be where we are right now. So, yes, you can be like, you know what? I do want DA to focus more on crashing the boards, despite what the Mavericks are showing and giving them. But he had a good game.
Look, if you watch this game, a lot of times he's out on the perimeter guarding guys, right? You're not in a position to box out and rebound when you're having to guard Luka at the 3-point line, which happened multiple times tonight, when you have to switch out there. And on other occasions, he was boxing out his guy. His teammates got the rebound. I don't think that's something you point at. And he had 7 in the second half when the Mavs started missing on more occasions as well. I don't worry about that. DA had a spectacular game. He came out and did everything offensively you could want. He's the reason why they pushed that lead in the first half and into that third quarter. So I don't understand how you could look at this game and have anything overly negative to say about DA. He came out and he feasted on a bunch of smaller guys tonight.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to go ahead and give Deandre Ayton our draft king of the game. So he finished with 25 points, 12 of 20 from the field, 8 rebounds. Congrats to DA, the big fella. We all know DA is going to get paid. It's just a matter of who's going to pay him.
Yeah, so, someone's offering him the max, but we'll see. That's 11 wins away. I don't care about that.
Can I say something?
Always.
Can we officially, listen right here. I love you all, but can we please hang up the Suns in 4? I don't even want to hear it anymore. I just think it's just so 2021. It's not even 2022. I hate it. I hate it with every fiber of my being.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear even if they sweep. Shut up with it already. On to the next one. It's just, yeah, I'm good. I don't need any more of that. And have we not learned that nothing good comes of saying that? It does, it worked once.
It worked once because we were saying it in the fourth game.
It happened in the third game.
Yeah.
You said it in the fourth for the sweep. Yeah, let's slow our jets with that.
It's to the point where even just giving a literal Suns in 4 prediction when you're talking about a series feels dirty.
It feels cringe. Yeah, 1,000,000%.
It's just like I don't even want to make that my prediction because I feel bad saying
that's
it.
why I always say 5.
I don't know. I mean, I do think we need to retire that. There's so many other things that we could come up with. I don't know. I don't know.
By the way, I'm just gonna say this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to feel like Luka might be a looter in a riot kind of situation, like they used to say about Devin. A lot of those points came in a lot of meaningless basketball tonight.
Do we want to talk about Luka?
Yep, but first, let me tell you about the latest offer from the DraftKings Sportsbook app, an official sports betting partner of the
better
I'm
NBA.
tell you not to Devin Booker.
This week, new customers can bet just $5 on any team to win and get
But not on Devin Booker.
$150 in free bets if they do, but you can bet the Suns.
Cost me $170.
And if you're looking to turn a small bet into a big payday during the NBA playoffs, you can do so with same-game parlays. And right now, all customers can place a same-game parlay with 3 or more legs and get a free bet back up to $25 if one leg does not hit. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use promo code PHNX. Bet $5 on any NBA team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. That's promo code PHNX this week at DraftKings Sportsbook. Just a reminder, that's 21 and older only, Arizona only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only, minimum $5 minimum deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Also, don't blame your favorite player when your bet doesn't hit.
I'm not going to tweet at him. I'm just going to say it here.
Yeah.
If Devin listens, he's welcome to be offended.
This is a safe space, Lindsey. Stop attacking me.
I just
appreciate
wanted
that.
my money, damn
That's
it.
it.
I know, but I feel like it needs to be said.
I feel like we give
'Cause
flowers
people are
to
straight
Devin
up
Booker
a-holes.
when he just breathes air. It's okay if I come at him for not giving me 2 more damn points. Especially when he shot 7 for 20. Just feel like there was
Just 2.
so many missed opportunities.
All we needed was 2.
All right, what do you want to talk about Luka?
Oh, this fucking trash.
Look, I don't think Luka is a horrible player.
No.
I'm not dumb. Like, I know that he's a talented guy and he does talented things. It's an overinflation as to how good he is. If I have to hear Reggie Miller say Magic Luka one more time, I'm going to throw up, which means I'm going to throw up on the next game because he's going to say it 14 times. I get that Luka has the ability to run the court and pass the ball. He's not Magic Johnson. He's good.
No.
He's not Magic Johnson. He's a guy that, again, just got out of the first round for the first time. Had a big a big number tonight. Well, his team was down by double digits most of the time. I respect that he's good at the game. He's overvalued. He's overhyped.
When I see things like Luka and Michael Jordan are the only 2 players in NBA history to average over 30 points a game in the playoffs, it makes me want to fucking throw up. Because there's no correlation between those 2 dudes. Like, they're not even in the same realm. Luka is a massive, crazy good stat stuffer. He absolutely is. He almost averages a fucking triple-double. He's a great player. I'm not taking that away from him at all. But what I will say is that one of the things that he's not very good at is making his teammates rise to his level, and that's why his teams are okay. They're just okay. They get a few wins here and there. They make the playoffs. They always go home early. Like, Luka is forever going to be that dude until he raises the level of play around him. And I just don't know if he has that in him because he wants to be the guy. He wants to have all the stats. He had 42 tonight, and people are going to talk about, or 45, and people are going to talk about how he was amazing tonight and the supporting cast, all they have to do, Jalen Brunson isn't going to play that bad next game. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. You know why? Because the Suns are completely satisfied with letting Luka work his ass off to get those 45 points and holding everybody else somewhat at bay. They're fine with that because they know that if they play well as a team, they'll dominate. And that's exactly what happened tonight. The Mavericks have no answers for the Suns as a team. All the Suns have to do is figure out how to slow down one guy on the other team, and they're going to be okay. And that's what they're going to do.
Well, and if you judge him by the Booker criteria, which I like to look at guys through that lens because we dealt with it, he's terrible on one side of the ball. He's not a good defender. I mean, Book put him on skates multiple times in this game. Like, that's a big part of this as well as defense too. So
we got a super chat from Ray Blaine. Said Al was calling Luka Dragic the entire game.
Right.
Thanks for the super chat. I don't blame Al for that. And I get it. I totally get it. It's kind of funny. But I get it.
I just, like I said, I was one of my things down the road. We'll talk is Luka related, but like I said, casuals will open up the box score tomorrow morning and think that the Mavericks were right there with the Suns, and they really weren't. Like this game was put away a long time.
The Mavericks didn't lead at all in this entire game
because they're trash.
I mean, honestly, I think my biggest thing is like with your guys' point to Luka, if he was more of a team player, I think this Mavs team could actually be a lot better with the same group they have currently. Because like Maxey was knocking him down tonight. And if they were finding ways to get him open and get him in good position and taking some of those shots away from Luka, that could be like huge for their team.
That's just not how they're built.
Well, and
exactly.
Luka can't protect the ball. He had 5 turnovers tonight. 8 assists, 5 turnovers. I mean, that's not a great rate there. I'm just going to tell you. And he's averaged over 4 turnovers a game in his career against the Suns. Like, when they put pressure on him, he tends to turn it over. So, look, he's a good player. He's a great player in a lot of ways, but there's a lot left to be desired in his game, and the Suns, at least in game 1, exploited a lot of that tonight.
Listen, people are here in the chat talking about, well, he doesn't have a supporting cast. Well, he's had a supporting cast in the past, and the same thing has happened. He had Porzingis,
they were beefing.
But they were beefing. Why were they beefing? Is because there's literally videos out there all over the place where you can watch how many times Luka will take on a double, sometimes even a triple team. Porzingis would be wide open. Nah, I'm taking the shot because he's a stat stuffer. That's what he does. Like he wants the love. And that's what he's getting right now. Like, congratulations on making it to the second round. I hope you enjoy going home after this.
Speaking of Maxey, I hope he's okay.
Hey, he's
fine. He took a gnarly fall tonight.
Fine.
I know, but he's going to be sore tomorrow. He might be fine in the grand scheme of things, but that hurt. And it probably made... I don't know for sure because I've never actually asked a professional NBA player this before, but I would think that a fall like that creates a little bit of hesitation in your mind for a few games just because it's so... Like, that one was scary.
Yeah.
That one was scary.
For sure.
So, I just hope he's doing okay.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those ones where you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Can we get back to the positive side of the Suns? Because there's
sure.
a guy
Let's do it.
We didn't give some flowers to.
Who?
He deserves it. Cam Johnson. My X factor in this series. One Cam Johnson, who had a hell of a night, going 6 of 10, 17 points, 5 rebounds. I mean,
50% from deep.
Yeah, I mean, he started hitting his threes again. He found a way to be involved in the offense. I mean, he did it all in 24 minutes too, so quite efficient. Point every other minute. This is what the Suns need. They need Cam Johnson to continue to be a factor offensively and help them on the boards. If he continues to play like this, the Suns have a pretty easy path to victory because it gives you a guy on the bench that you can 100% count on, which they didn't have in that first series. That first series, you had no consistency.
Absolutely. Also, everybody stop what you're doing because I'm about to – no, I'm just kidding. Hit the like button. Yeah? Hey, hit the like button, please. That thumbs up. It helps us all out. It spreads the love to more people who want to hear us dog all over Luka Doncic.
It also does a fun thing when you click on it. It goes, wee.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Oh, how about
sparkles.
That?
Everyone loves sparkles.
Everybody loves sparkles. Hit that like button and sparkle.
Or if you're listening on our podcast, leave a 5-star review.
There you go.
Nothing happens, but we appreciate it.
Yep.
That's not true. Something gets wings or something like that every time you leave a 5-star. I don't know. Somebody does.
Every time this podcast gets a 5-star review, I get fed.
There you go. Something positive happens.
So Shane hasn't eaten in a while.
You may not be able to see it, but something positive happened. We also got a camp slam tonight, which was really fun. It wasn't over Marquise Chris, but it was still a really fun slam from him for sure.
There you go, MCG Blue. You got it.
What'd they say?
He said the image and the style that you're used to.
There you go.
It's all reference.
There you go. You want to talk about defense? Let's talk about a little bit of defense because I feel like that was one of the things, and we did mention it a little bit when we were talking about the Mavs. There was a lot of what people were saying coming into the series. Well, the Mavs are playing defense right now, so it's not just going to be a cakewalk for the Suns. And that could still be true down the road, but I think we deserve more credit. The Suns deserve more credit for the amount of defense they play on a regular basis. And I just want to shout out Devin for being such a solid defender at this point. Like, he is a good defender at this point in his career. And I know we saw a lot of Mavs fans before this series started being like, who's going to take advantage? Basically, they were saying Devin could be the pigeon for them.
Yeah.
And I was like, where have you been?
Again, yeah, that's such a casual remark. That just shows you how many people don't watch Suns games. Like, Devin Booker is so much more of an improved defender. He showed it with the block in the first half. Like, he has solid positioning. He tries really, really hard on the defensive end. Like, and people just sleep on it over and over and over again because they think he's Luka Doncic. That's what it is. They think he's an empty stat stuffer and nothing more. That's not what Devin Booker is. He's one of the better two-way players in the league now, and you got to recognize it.
No, 100%. It's a lazy take to say Devin Booker can't play defense. That's it. It's a lazy take and you haven't watched enough of what it is, but I'm fine with it. And I'm sure Devin doesn't mind getting to prove everybody wrong that says that as well. So, you know what, I whatever. He comes out, he plays his ass off on defense and does it fantastically. But Mikal Bridges tonight, fantastic defense as always.
Mm-hmm.
That beautiful block in the corner there, which was just we heard Herb Jones get all that love for his block in the first series. Mikal Bridges' block was better tonight.
Yeah,
it was better. The ball was already out of the hands there, and he blocked it on its upward trajectory.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's better. I would say it's at least the same at a minimum. And
it was better. And
Reggie just absolutely was like, "Oh, look at that! That was cool." And that was it. Meanwhile, he went on like a whole Herbie. I was trying to think of something really bad.
He was Herbie fully loaded.
Yeah, he was Herbie fully loaded in the last series. Good job,
way to keep it
Shane.
PG.
There you go. Yeah, he was all about some Herb in the last series. He was smoking on that Herb pack.
Oh my goodness.
By the way, the Suns did all this tonight with only 3 assists from Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's because Devin picked up the slack. He had 8.
Yeah, but
Devin was flirting with the triple-double there for a hot second.
He almost messed around and got one, 23, 9, and 8.
Can I ask a question that might be a little...
No, Chris Paul isn't washed.
Not that. That is not the question I was asking.
What's your question?
Devin is not hurt. No.
Are we not concerned at all about Devin Booker?
No.
Look.
At all?
No.
I think what happened there was Devin and Chris Paul came out. They thought the game was in hand and they weren't going to have to come back in. So Devin may have gotten a little stiffer than he thought on the bench and had to come back in. And with a hamstring injury coming off of that, that's when it's tougher, is when you have to shift back into that mode and you don't respond as well. So I think that might have been what we were seeing there towards the end, which made us wonder, something going on with Book? I think it's just that, because if you're in that shutdown and relax mode and then you have to go back full bore, I think it's tougher when you're just coming off the
I get that. I get that at the end of the game, but at the same time, like if your hammy's good to go, then there's some of those bunnies that at the end of the game that you just don't pass up. He was passing quite a lot at the end of the game when he had the shot. He had the shot several times.
It could have also been he was like, I'm cold. Let me give it to somebody
Devin
else.
doesn't do that. He hasn't done that all season.
Normally, no, but maybe he was just trying to be an extra
If nobody
team player
else
tonight.
thinks that there's anything wrong with Devin, I will shut up. I will just keep that opinion to myself.
Hey guys, the boss is in our chat right now, so keep it
Who?
on the up
Which
and up.
boss?
I can't even see the chat.
Brandon Spano with the super chat, the big boss. He's in the chat, so keep it on the up and up, y'all.
Not
Why? I don't give a shit. Are you kidding me?
It was a joke.
Oh, I thought Lindsey was really trying to be PG. I was like, you're going to try and hold us down?
I think that picture
is the sarcasm missing that much tonight?
Yeah, because you're all somber about it.
I think that picture is the first time I've ever seen Brandon
to chill because Brandon's here.
Chill for what, though? What have we even been doing?
I don't even know.
Brandon in the chat, I always knew my sons were going to cruise through round two.
No, we're not letting you off the hook like that,
Wait, what
son.
happened?
This is coming from the
Wait,
same
what
guy
happened?
that
Read
said,
his-
wait
read
for
his
Jamal
comment.
Murray and MPJ to come back to the lineup this year. He said this
Well,
year.
To be fair, they never did come back.
No, he said wait for him to come back.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying we're still waiting.
Yeah, but he thought it was going to happen that week, which was like a month ago.
Oh my gosh.
No,
that's
he's got to
fantastic.
own his L and go back to Denver and
no,
stay
no.
there.
He can come on the bandwagon.
No.
We just need a larger super chat before we let it happen.
There you go. That's right. That's right.
Love you, Brandon.
Hi, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon.
No, but to round out your thoughts, so I genuinely think Devin is okay. I think if anything, it's just working on getting 100% like legs back underneath him, maybe. Because earlier in the game, you didn't see him hesitate at all, did you?
Say that again?
Earlier in the game,
No.
you didn't see him hesitate at all, did you?
I
pass up open shots?
I just am not seeing the same burst yet. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to play it a little safe as you're first returning, especially when you know that re-injuring is a high probability coming back.
As long
It
as
makes sense for him to kind of take it a little bit slow.
long as he's 100% good to go, full bore when we possibly hit the next round.
Well,
Knocking on wood.
Look, did you expect him to be 100% tonight? I didn't. I expected we were getting 85, 90% of Booker.
I didn't want him to be back unless he was 100%.
Yeah,
Because
but
that's
we-
just not how I would have played it.
We
That's
knew
also
that didn't
not
happen
Devin, though.
in Game 6. We knew he wasn't anywhere near.
Again, I want to
100%.
win a championship. I don't give a shit about the Pelicans or the Mavs. I felt like they could have gotten past both these rounds without him. So I would have rested him. But that's just me. And everybody else disagrees with me. So that's fine. And that's okay. And we move on.
All right. Well, I mean, listen, it's fair to ask the question. I personally am not worried.
What?
I'm not worried.
Somebody in the chat requested the Espo sexy photo because we won.
Somebody also earlier in the chat brought up a good point. Do you think he was triple double hunting? Maybe.
Maybe that was why he was
That's actually
passing
not a
off.
bad thought.
Really?
I wouldn't
Yeah,
think so.
He was an assist.
No.
Why not?
That's with 23 points. That's like
Why
he had
not?
a triple double last year in the playoffs against the Clippers. That it was like 41 plus.
A
Like why would
triple-double's
you?
a triple-double.
He needs 10
Nobody
points to
goes back and
qualify
is
for
like,
it.
and is like, oh yeah, throughout the playoffs, Devin had 25 triple doubles throughout his career, but only one of them was like 12 points, 10 and 10. You know what I mean? Nobody does that, so it
That's
doesn't
like-
matter.
We just bashed on Luka for stat hunting. I don't want to believe that Booker was doing the same fucking thing.
I mean,
But Booker was winning, so you could stat hunt. It's
No,
when you're losing, you don't.
no.
By the way, Sly, I think hit the nail on the head.
Yeah,
Shut
Solve
the
for
hell
first,
up.
sham
There's
it
no
over Buck.
freaking way.
That's what it is.
That's
That's just
It just
absolutely.
refers-
Don't even say that, Liz. That's facts. No way. No way.
oh my gosh. All right, gentlemen. Are you ready for some screenshots?
Let's go.
All right, it's time for some screenshots presented by Arizona Department of Health Services. COVID-19 vaccines are free for everyone 5 and older. Those 12 and older are also now eligible for a booster. Visit azhealth.gov for a location near you. Here are some of our favorite moments that came out of tonight's game. Saul, you want to start?
Sure. Yeah, this is my screenshot. This comes from Nick Wright.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. I wish I could read that, though, because my eyes are not, they're not helping me at all. Mavs should feel.
You want me to help you? I
Yeah,
got you.
please. That'd be great.
Okay. Mavs should feel fine. Suns have no answer for Luka. Phoenix got every rebound and hit 3 desperation end of shot clock shots in the second half that killed any comeback attempt. This series is going the distance, and I like Luka's chances at the end of it. To which Rob Perez responded, "You are the best."
Yeah, and that's his way of saying you're fucking stupid. Like, it's absolutely true. Nick Wright, that is one of the most horrendous takes of all time. And people were burning him in the chat. He's a Luka lover, which doesn't surprise me because he's a LeBron lover. He's all about LeBron and his empty stats, and he's all about Luka and his empty stats. Like, you can miss me with that shit because every time Devin Booker was doing the same thing, people wanted to bag on him. But now that these guys are doing the same thing on losing teams or, teams that are losing in the playoffs, like, oh, this is okay. Never mind the fact that he's talking about how the Suns hit like 3 fourth quarter shots that, basically stemmed the tide. Luka had a magnificent performance. You have to hope that Luka has 50 plus in the next game and gets a little bit more help, and the Suns completely fall off the face of the earth. Like, that's not going to happen. The Suns are a much better team all the way around, and with the extra, maneuvering that they get because the Dallas Mavericks just don't play, hella great defense, I just don't see it. Like, I told everybody before, I was nervous about the Pelicans in round one. I was not as worried about whoever won between the Jazz and the Mavs, and game one feels pretty good.
Has anybody ever been named just so inappropriately? He's Nick Wright, and yet he's constantly freaking wrong. Yep. He's the Walmart Skip Bayless. He looks like a used car salesman trying to tell me a sports take that's wrong is the correct
But listen,
one.
If you package it the right way and you slow down your speaking and you talk about how, if you can articulate exactly how this guy is so much better than one whole team, then people will believe you. And they're wrong.
I mean, I don't even know how to respond to that because, like, were we not watching the same game?
No, he was not.
Like, did he just tune in to the second half of the fourth quarter?
He was watching it live from Luka Land.
It just doesn't make any sense to me that, like, how can you watch this entire game and still genuinely think that?
Is this true?
Is what true?
Yes, if we get $100 in super chats, I'll take a shot before the end of the show.
What is that?
Wow.
I don't know. I didn't say that, but the PHNX account said it, so it must be true.
Jacob
so
is giggling back there like a little schoolgirl. Of course, Jacob is the one that said
I'll do that. I'll wind up sounding like a freaking Nick Wright at the end of the show because I'll be speaking out my ass, but that's fine.
But what's your screenshot?
Let's take a look. I don't remember right now. Oh, yes, I do. We got to hang this in the Louvre.
Oh, my gosh.
It is Jay Crowder doing his version of a Raja Bell, hitting Luka right in the bells there. He kicked that leg out on a three, got the world's best flagrant one. I was all about this. It was nice.
Honestly, the best part of this was Draymond getting up on Twitter. Oh, yes. He put out the eyeball emojis, said, "I've been tossed for less than that." Draymond is upset.
Yeah, well,
he was really upset.
Draymond has a history, like a complete history of doing this. Like what he did on Sunday was pretty egregious.
Yeah.
This was, as they said on the broadcast, Jay Crowder doing what Reggie Miller used to do all the time in the 90s. It's a cup check back then.
Hello in the chat says, Espo hates Alvarado, but Espo is Alvarado.
I don't think I agree.
If I'm annoying to certain people, sure, but I've never dressed like a pirate on this show, so.
I disagree. All right, my screenshot is from Nate Duncan, who said, "Watching Devin Booker guard Jalen Brunson compared to Donovan Mitchell, ... And my whole thing with this is like, man, Rudy tried to tell y'all. He tried to tell y'all. Why didn't you listen? You know what I mean?
Well, because,
What?
Because Rudy Gobert doesn't have much in the way of confidence in the public nowadays.
I mean, that's fair. But if you're talking basketball, that's fair. But we're talking basketball here.
Was that a French impression?
That was let me touch on the mics,
I'm pretty sure that's not how Rudy Gobert sounds.
And that's our screenshots for the night. One more time. COVID-19 vaccines are free for everyone 5 and older. Those 12 and older are also now eligible for a booster. Visit azhealth.gov for a location near you. Perfect
Esperado.
Ian in the chat says Esperado. Connor says Alvarado is a Walmart version of Espo, some would say.
Oh my gosh, Esperado.
Esperado's low-key not bad.
That's genius.
I'm not mad at it at all.
I'll rock with that.
Esperado.
I wouldn't call it. You're not an Alvarado, but Esperado is a dope name.
Oh my god.
I think we'll go with that.
We have 2 legendary nicknames now on this show. Esperado and Girth.
And two-time.
I'm the only one that doesn't have one,
the
baby.
only one that calls me that.
Let's go.
Yeah, we'll figure out ours at some point in time. Year 2, we've got time.
No. We don't get to figure out ours.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a
they
chat
will come.
appointed thing. Yeah.
They will come.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
figure out
Don't
what
worry
ours
about
are
it.
eventually.
Connor wants the chat to be called the Esperados.
Esperada and the girth.
I mean, Esperados are. I like Esperados better than Girthlings.
Yeah. Esperados is way better.
Hello,
Yeah.
no.
I like
Saul.
Gerald's nickname for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello said you're no short Saul.
Yeah.
The wasted
Fantastic.
wanderer says Esperado sounds like a gated community in North Scottsdale.
It totally
It does.
does.
It does.
Oh my God, you know what it really sounds like? You know those Mark Taylor homes? Like the apartments?
the apartments.
Luxury high-end apartments
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever?
Welcome
can
to
live at the-
Esperado.
It's 100%
Yeah, it
that,
does.
though.
Your
Yeah.
new home at Esperado.
100% that.
For sure.
Tennis
All right,
courts,
gentlemen,
swimming
we
pools.
are just a few minutes away from hearing from Gerald Bourguet. He's wrapping up with DA here shortly. Would you like to do a producer surprise now? Or is there anything else from the game that you want to talk about?
Let's
All right.
produce a surprise.
Yeah, let's
All
do it.
right. Let's do a producer surprise. Shane, what you got for us?
All right. Well, in light of the DeAndre Hopkins news, if you could take a PED for any random activity, what would it be? What would you want to get better at illegally, but nobody would know?
Ooh.
Anything.
Oh, man.
Art.
That's really hard.
Art.
Art?
Yeah. I wish I was really good at literally any type
Don't tell Sean that.
of art. Like from like a legitimate like artistic, because creative spaces is considered art as well. I'm talking about like painting, pottery, all that kind of jazz. If I could figure out a way to get a leg up in that area, I would absolutely take it.
I think video games. I am the world's worst video game player.
Well, it's because you grew up in the cheat code era, and then they just basically like got rid of cheat codes.
No, I was awful even with the cheat code. I
Really?
like first person shooters, any of the non-sports games, I suck at them. Racing, I suck. I mean, some of our viewers saw that during All-Star Weekend. Not good at that stuff, so I'd probably take that. So
I think mine would just be like cooking.
Okay.
Like I would like to be just like elite level cook.
you're already that at grilling.
It was
so.
either that or fighting. Because I don't know. There's just
How
something
often
about
do you get in fights with people?
I'd get in them a lot more
Let's
if I
be
knew I was
honest.
going to win every time.
Would you though?
Yeah, I would. Oh, I so would.
And you'd end up in a lot of
I
trouble.
would probably fight for a living.
Let's
But I got big
let's take sports out of it because that's kind of
Yeah,
like
because then you'd get kicked out of that league for using illegal substances.
But-
You can't. That doesn't count. You can't do that.
Not there's a commission on street fighting.
no,
Like,
he said he would do it for a living,
Yeah,
which
you-
would mean
no,
like
he
boxing
just
or
beat
UFC,
guys
right?
up and take their wallet.
Or is this like Fight Club, like in somebody's basement? Is that what you're talking
I'm
about?
like Kimbo Slice out in this motherfucker, man. I'd be killing dudes. Or not literally killing dudes, but you know what I'm saying. I give him a nice elbow to the face. slash
Albert in
them.
the chat said, "Is there a steroid that helps me win the lottery? Because that'd be a good one too."
No, but I'm so upset that somebody won $483 million in Gilbert.
Gilbert.
One person. Oh man, I used to play it all the time, and I didn't play this one
Well,
time.
you know what they say,
It could have
Saul.
been me.
You know what they say,
It could
Saul.
have been me.
If you won the lottery, would you ever come back?
No,
Would I ever see you again, Liz?
she
It
didn't.
depends on how much I won.
No, if it was like $483 million, I'd never see you again. I wouldn't even know
Nobody
you left.
would
I don't
ever
know
I don't
see
think
her
anybody
anybody
would
that
ever
knew
see
her would ever see
She'd
her.
own an
No.
island and would never leave.
No,
all
I'm
right?
not even
Ever.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like if I won $483 million, I would win it. I'd probably have a note on my door. It's been nice seeing you. Nice knowing you guys.
Is it sad that I'd be right back here tomorrow, even if I won 480 million?
I would finish at least this season. I would.
It's kind of hard to finish the season knowing that like you have a jet waiting for you outside that's gonna take you anywhere in the world you want to go.
Ooh, private jet on
Yeah.
Central, that'd be nice.
Dude,
But I would finish the season. I would finish the season, and I would figure out exactly what my game plan is before. I gotta have the game plan figured out before I just dip out, because then what's the point? But it would be
Because-
nobody, not a single soul in the entire world would know.
Because like as soon as you won, everybody and their mom's gonna be
but
asking you for money.
you can accept it anonymously now.
No, this is
Yeah, but if they said somebody in downtown Phoenix won $480 million, and then Lindsey disappears. We all know Lindsey won $480 million.
That's what I'm saying. You got to finish out the season. You got to game plan
Then what would you
first.
how would you tell me that you're leaving?
I don't know that I would. I'm just saying until I had the
But
plan
then
figured
now I
out.
know you won that money.
Until I had the plan figured out,
know
it would
what
just be
happened?
status
What
quo.
happened to Lindsey?
And then I would be like, hey guys, I'm just not really feeling great anymore. I don't know if I'm going to be back.
You wouldn't know until the helicopter took off from the lawn out
That's
here.
the worst lie ever.
I don't know.
And then I drive to your
I'm
house
going
and
on a
like,
sabbatical.
where's she at? Oh, she don't live here no more.
I just buy the Suns if I
Yeah,
won
you know.
$483 million.
I don't know that you could.
No,
but
you-
I could
you-
start an investment group because
you would, you would
I'd have
need
a good
group.
portion of the cash right there.
Yeah, you would definitely
Interesting.
need another group. What's your Shane? What would you do? What? What are we laughing at in the chat?
So I'm home.
Whispering still picks up.
I
Oh, does it? Oh,
I like
Yeah.
the
I don't.
I like
didn't
the
hear that.
Lindsey would buy Cam and book flowers every day.
No, they got
for
enough
hello.
money.
They are millionaires.
Yeah.
They don't
why
give us
would
any
I-
damn flowers.
Absolutely not. Shane? Sorry,
which
what's yours?
which one? $1 million or steroids?
Million.
No, both. Do both.
Yeah, both.
Okay, steroids would be like social activities, social cues, being good at talking to better, like the best at talking to people.
Okay.
In public.
That's
I think
good.
that'd be really fun.
Or
Yeah.
like, never mind. I'm not going to say it.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. Now you got to.
You have to.
No, I'm not
I'm
going to
just gonna.
say
I'm
it.
gonna,
Committed.
I'm gonna
Nope.
stare at the camera until you say it.
No.
It's freaking.
What if
it's
it's
freaking
like-
people out?
What about like, would you change? Like, if you could do a steroid, like to change your voice?
Are you saying I need to change my voice?
No, I'm saying like
Ow.
I would do that.
Really?
I would love a Barry White voice.
You would
Oh my
change your
God.
voice?
Fuck yeah, I would be so sexy. Like have you ever heard like Morgan Freeman talk? You're just like, dude, that's such a great
Oh,
voice.
if I could get Morgan Freeman's specific voice, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It
Like-
can be any voice you want.
Voice of God, Morgan Freeman. There.
I mean, that's just like
I know
that's-
I've got a great.
I guess
one
I
already.
totally get what you guys are saying. That's not a
right.
bad
If you
thing,
like,
yeah.
sometimes you hear like, like for me, obviously, if I hear a woman's voice, some voices just resonate better than others. And you're like, damn,
Mhm.
okay, you got my attention. I mean,
I don't know what I'd do with money though. I would do something stupid. I think I'd just stay on my phone
James Earl
and
Jones.
use Amazon for like 24 hours, and then probably buy an island. I think an island is the way to go.
See, I don't know how I feel about buying an island. You know, we got global warming happening. Like, I'm not trying to have my island sink in like 10 years and then lose my investment.
Bad
You know what I'm
investment.
saying?
Of course,
Like,
Lindsay would think of it that way. That the investment portion of it might be. I might be underwater in this investment, literally.
Literally.
is what Lindsay was concerned about.
I'm just saying. I don't
What do you think
know.
Gerald would do?
well, Gerald clearly is not going to show up today, so
Yeah.
it isn't going to buy his way on.
A minute ago, he said setting up in 2 minutes. So while we're waiting for Gerald, let me tell you about one of our newest partners, OG's Brands.
Goodbye.
Stop by your local dispensary and grab some
quite
amazing
nice.
scratch-made THC gummies from our friends at OG's. They just announced their new mini OGs, which are 3 milligram microdose options for those who may not want to dive right into the regular 10 milligram options. These are going to be available on May 3rd. So literally, 2 days? Tomorrow. These are going to be available
Tomorrow.
exclusively at Zen Leaf locations through May 11th. They also have amazing flavors like orange creamsicle, tropical, and watermelon. So if you're interested in trying the amazingly delicious varieties of flavors that OG's Brands has to offer, go to ogbrands.com. That's OGEEZ Brands to find OGs near you.
Espo popped his cannabis cherry over the weekend.
I am no longer canna curious.
Yes,
How
he
did
is.
it
I am
go?
canna positive. All right, it is
Yeah.
fantastic.
And how did it go?
It was amazing.
See,
The orange creamsicle lives up to the hype.
Okay.
I'd eat that even without the THC in it, but
yeah,
with
it's pretty
with
delicious.
it even better. I better tell you that much.
Yeah.
Did you go?
I
did you
went
have a
5
whole full
milligrams.
gummy?
I didn't go. I didn't
Okay.
go full.
Okay.
I went half. But it
Smart.
was spectacular. I will tell you that.
Okay.
You know what the
I-
fans deserve, Espo?
No, I will not do a show high.
No, not a show. A segment, a social segment with a creamsicle. I think that would be phenomenal.
Oh, It would be a trip. I'll say that for it. A strange trip.
No, so hello, like it just depends on what strand you're going with. If you go with the indica, if you go with the sativa or the hybrid, certain strands have different, feelings to other people. Like me, I would if I do the sativa and I'm not active, yeah, there's a little bit of like, did y'all hear that? You know what I mean, like that kind of stuff. But for the most part, you do the indica.
Ooh.
It's nice and chill. And that usually puts me to sleep. I actually have slept the best in my entire life using an indica strain.
The indica, like floating on a cloud when you have that stuff. It was.
Your wife is in the chat saying
she's 100%.
You don't need more than half.
I'm gonna take 2 next time and see where we go.
There's literally nothing wrong with that, though. Like,
No.
if anything else, it's
Spectacular.
less expensive.
Gerald,
Gerald's here.
We're talking about how I got high this weekend. So welcome into the program.
Oh, fun.
Because I got high.
Same, Gerald, same.
I didn't get, oh no, I got oh fun. All right, that's new. Gerald, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Good. You made us wait around forever. Jeez.
Correction, I did not make anybody wait.
That's facts. Gerald, what did Monty say about this one?
Yeah, I think that there was a sense of, I don't want to say comfort, but they knew that they pretty much dominated the majority of this game. But there was also kind of this sense of annoyance with the way that it closed. Obviously, the final score was a lot closer than it should have been. They were up by 20-some in the second half. And, they just shot really miserably in that fourth quarter. They got outscored, I think, 35-10 in the fourth. So just uncharacteristic defensively, a lot of garbage time buckets. And I think that that's the type of thing that they can carry with them into game 2. Like, we should have been better, we can be better, and we're going to be better. So it's kind of an interesting thing where they might have the best of both worlds as far as they got the game 1 win. They know that they can dominate this team, and they also have a motivating factor heading into game 2, aside from the obvious of it's playoff basketball and you should want to win every game anyway.
Let's talk about the stat stuffing Luka Doncic. Let's talk about how amazingly awesome he is. And let's, more importantly, talk about what the Suns said about him and how they will like to maybe defend him in game 2.
Yeah, I think they were smart in their post-game comments. They mentioned, we thought we made him work, and at the same time, we can do a lot better job on him because, he did wind up shooting 50%. He had to make his last 3 or 4 shots, I think, to get there. But I do think they did a nice job of making him work and tiring him out. Aside from, I think it was a Charlie horse that it looked like he sustained in that second half, it just felt like he was fighting an uphill battle. He had those turnovers, he was missing shots, and a lot of the other guys just weren't getting involved outside of Maxi Kleber. So it kind of worked out really well. I think this is the type of series they've been saying it all along. Luka's going to get his. It's all about making sure that the other guys don't get theirs as well. And I think with the style of play that the Mavs are playing with all those isolations, that makes it really hard to get other guys involved. I think the Mavs only had 16 assists tonight, and Luka had the majority of them. But when the ball's not moving, you're going to have a hard time beating the Suns defense. So I think the Suns might be content with Luka putting up big numbers as long as they're making him take a ton of shots, tiring him out, and targeting him on defense. I think they shot a really nice percentage against him when he was the primary defender on the other end.
Any discussion on Deandre Ayton's rebounding? We talked about it. He only had 1 in the first half, 7 in the second. But any talk about that tonight from anybody?
Not really, just because the rebounding thing wasn't a huge issue for the Suns tonight. I think in the first half, DA got switched out onto the perimeter quite a few times, and a lot of the Suns were just doing what they call gang rebounding, as far as everybody having 4 or 5 assists here or there. So I wouldn't get too strung up about that type of thing. It just felt like kind of a weird half in that regard.
I feel like the Suns weren't as tight defensively as they could have been. Seemed like the Mavs had several open shots throughout the game, and mostly off of sets, ball reversals, things of that nature. What did the Suns talk about their overall defensive performance, instead of just on Luka?
Yeah, Monty said he felt like they were pretty well connected in that first half, but in the second half, they kind of got away from it a little bit. And he's mentioned multiple times that their point of attack defense has to be well put together against a team like this that plays 5 out. They like to break you down off the dribble, get into the paint, and generate looks for shooters. And the Mavs were able to do that a lot more in the second half than they were in the first half. And they shot, I think, 41% from three, and still it should have been a double-digit loss for them. So it's one of those things where the Suns can definitely be better in that regard. But if you're the Mavs and you're looking at this game, obviously you're encouraged by the fact that they were able to make it close late in the game. But a lot of that came down to the Suns just missing wide open shots that were there for the taking. I don't know if you're Dallas what you need to do differently in game 2, because if you're not winning the rebounding battle and you are winning the 3-point battle, but you're still losing, like what adjustments can you make? They need to play better defense, obviously, but they just don't have an answer for Deandre Ayton. They don't have an answer for JaVale McGee. That size disadvantage is huge for them. And they were in for a rude awakening tonight because they realized this is not the Utah Jazz defense that they're trying to score on anymore. They got it together in the second half, but I think there was a little bit of a feeling out process in that first half, realizing, oh, we can't just drive past their perimeter every time down.
Speaking of adjustments, any chance JaVale gets another shot on Luka defensively next game?
I don't know about that, but Ayton was definitely excited about that play. He was saying he was jazzed about it, and then they came back down and scored. So he said he sat down really quick again. He said they snuffed out his excitement really quick. But no, that was a really fantastic play. I don't know what else you can say about that. We're going to be running that one back tomorrow for sure.
All right, so we have a question in the comments asking about Luka seemingly having an injury. I know you talked about that thinking that was probably just a Charlie horse. Are you concerned at all about Luka moving forward? And then Saul had a conversation with us earlier. Just curious if maybe there is any concern lingering for Devin Booker. How do you feel about both of those guys?
So as far as Luka, I think you have to be a little bit concerned. I think it's the type of thing that he can play through because he did stay in the game. We did see, Cam Johnson took a shot to the quad and he played through that game, and then he wound up missing basically a month after that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's that severe for Luka Doncic. I would be surprised if it was. It seems like the type of thing that he's going to be able to play through as long as he can keep it loose after the game heading into game 2. But I'm more concerned about his energy level because this is a guy that was coming off that calf injury that made him miss a few games in the first round. Now he's got this other thing going on, and he played 40-some minutes tonight, and he looked tired by the end. He got his numbers. He put up 45, 12, and 8 or something like that on 50% shooting, but he had to work for a lot of that, and a lot of those points came in garbage time. So he looked pretty tired in that second half. And this is just game 1. This is going to be an uphill series where there's only a day of rest in between each game until I think a potential game 7. So, that's tough on a guy who has to carry that much of a load. And then for Devin Booker, I'm not very concerned at all. He looked pretty spry. He looked like himself out there. His shooting percentage wasn't great. I think he was 7 for 17 finishing the game. But
7 for 20.
He was 7. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
7 for 20
because he cost me.
Yeah.
Because he cost me a lot of Skrilla because he missed 2 points. I needed 25 points, Gerald, and he got me 23.
Oh, that's brutal. But yeah, I think he was 7 for 14 at one point, so he must have missed his last 5 or 6 shots in a row. And that was during the stretch where the Suns, there was that one possession where they got like 3 offensive rebounds and didn't score because they just missed wide open looks. I don't think that was a product of fatigue or the injury or anything like that. He was asked after the game how he's feeling. Said he felt fine, kind of dismissed the question because, he gets sick of being asked about those types of things. So I think
but he didn't look like he was favoring anything. He didn't look like he was not moving smoother than normal or anything like that.
No, I didn't think so. And I think especially in that first half, the way that he was guarding Jalen Brunson, the way he was getting some of his points attacking and hitting that ridiculous 3 that he hit off the curl, those were plays that he was not making in game 6. Where he even admitted you're kind of thinking about it a little bit. Tonight he played a little bit more free in that regard.
By the way, Gerald, you are now not the only person who has been given a nickname by the chat.
Oh, is that so?
I have been dubbed Esperado because they said I'm like I'm basically like Alvarado, so
Oh no!
Which I completely disagree with, but Esperado is a dope name.
I don't know about that. Oh, I kind of see it. I kind of see it.
The chat actually suggested they be called the Esperados too. So.
I could see Espo picking me up full court.
Yeah.
Okay, but
I could definitely see him just being annoying and slapping
fine.
you.
If we want to lean into this, that you are like Alvarado, just know that this is your Pelicans fan base. We are that. So we love you over here. It's just every other fan base that's going to hate you.
I love that Lindsey's just trying to pump me up. Well, I already know other fans.
I do like the fact that she just kind of lumped us all in as if we all agreed.
You don't love me, Saul?
Gerald, since when? A month ago, you were like, Espo's my best friend. What happened?
It's like every day is like the changing of the wind. It just depends on how I feel.
Oh,
I mean, when Espo starts talking nonsense, we got the automatic Eagles tie-in. Esperado, why don't you come to your senses?
Oh my God.
The girth has arrived.
I've got
You're
Saul
welcome.
breaking my heart and Gerald making fun of me. I'm just gonna slink away now, everybody.
I mean, I think that joke was worse for me, honestly, but it's fine.
I've read your Twitter feed. It wasn't as bad as some of that.
That's true. Not your best work, not your worst work, Gerald. It was just mediocre.
I'll take it.
Anything else stood out to you from tonight's game or from speaking with Monty or the players?
No, I think the biggest quote was just going back to what we talked about as far as, being better in the fourth quarter. Deandre Ayton promised that they would not close a game like that again. He said the key for us is basically to break the gas pedal rather than just push on it in those situations. So I do think they were a little bit annoyed with the way that they closed, with the fact that the starters even had to come back into this game late. So I think this is the rare situation where you win game one comfortably and you go into game two with extra motivation.
I hope that you hold DA to that standard. And if they do have a bad fourth quarter sometime in the series, you say, DA, you promised us that would not happen.
I'm just going to steal the mic from Dwayne Rankin trying to ask his first question. DA, you promised us.
You promised us.
Show them the
you
receipts.
lied to us.
He would probably think it was funny. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, he would.
He would definitely think that was hilarious. Gerald, thank you. We appreciate you, as always, for checking in with us. I'm glad you're back home in Phoenix.
And you'll be back in the studio tomorrow, yes?
I will, yes.
Hey! The band's getting back together. Look at that. Esperado.
Oh, my gosh. Bye, Gerald.
Bye, guys.
Don't forget, for more on what Gerald heard from Monty and the players, check out gophnx.com. He will have an article up either later tonight or early tomorrow morning. And if you are not a member yet, now is a great time to become a member. You can also get an item of your choice for free from our locker, depending on which option you choose when you're signing up. Once again, let's go phnx.com. Gentlemen, 1 down, 3 more to go.
There's 11 to go. Let's keep the eye on the prize.
One round at a time. One round at a time, Espo. Just one. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you as always. Just a quick reminder, we're going to be live tomorrow at 2 p.m. right here on our YouTube channel, so plan to come hang out with us then. Until then, you can follow me on Twitter at LindseySmithAZ. You can follow Saul at Saul_Bookman. You can follow Gerald at Gerald Bourget. And you can follow Espo at Espo. Espo, take us home.
When a guy that you thought was your best friend informs you that you're not live on camera.
Oh, I love you, buddy. You know that.
Ahoy, hoy.
Lindsey, Gerald, Espo. Saw past the ball, we here to turn up the tempo. Got to understand me, I'll always rep the family. Rally in the valley like Dan G, no plan B. Always on the job, my team move like the mob. Turn the beat on, I throw it down like DA on the live. Best